SLR, it's just like EA stuff, but I don't fucking get it. No connections to the server. Fucking amazing. How do I get the fucking connection to the EA servers, please? Maybe. Can we start up? Yes, I am on PC. I press what? Yeah, I'll make sure that it's just but it's Steam. What? Join. Yeah, you're gonna have to begin by yourself because my game is just booting up. Yeah, this game is booting up for a year, so it's gonna take a while for me to get back in there.
Konnichiwa, everybody. For apologies if I'm butchering the accent, but welcome back to SLR Tier 2, and we are at the land of the rising sun, the king of drifting countries. I don't know, I've tried to come up with a line there, it didn't work, because we're trying to solve technical problems in the background. But anyway, welcome to Japan. Probably one of the most legendary circuits on the F1 calendar, and in SLR it's no exception. The only figure of 8 track on the F1 calendar, just like you made with your Hot Wheels as a kid, and hopefully we can bring you some red hot action here today as we are about to go live into qualification. Let me just get the live race up there for you. And he will be with me very shortly. He's muted at the minute because he's restarting his PC, because thanks EA, but CM Punk will be with me as well today. I'm your host, Lords of the Red Hot Lovers, of course. Apologies for the absence for the past few weeks, although you may have heard my voice in Tier 1, making up the difference. It's been a busy few Wednesdays for me recently. But anyway, you join us in Japan, along with 16 drivers, quite a few of which are reserves. A few new names on here, but just taking you through the order. We have Ocean Chief, Halanan, Piggy, Wissawill, Finsick, Joe 8, Verch, Horizon, John Wick, Smelto, Larson, Basco, Eversnaxlotl, Magnetic, Keyboard Magnuson, and Lefter is Elite. So 16 cars going around this wonderful Suzuka circuit. and who will come out on top. As we can see that CM Punk has joined the lobby, so apologies as I alt-tab and unmute the mic. He should be joining us momentarily.
Yes, hello. Am I here? Am I live? Are we here? Are we in this?
I believe we are.
Alright, hello everybody. Sorry for a bit of being late, but EA servers are not being pleasant to me, neither am I to them. But we are back, and we are back for Japan after exciting race week in Azerbaijan that we have been here last time with Tier 2. We had a lot of action going on there, so we expect at least the same, if not more, from this week's Japanese Grand Prix. The qualifying has gone underway. We can see a couple of cars already hitting the track. Important to notice, we have a new driver permanently added to the grid of Tier 2 because Horizon, the Haas driver, has joined Tier 2 permanently in the place of his previous Haas owner, if there even was one, I'm not sure. But yeah, Horizon will be now here with us for Tier 2, as we have 16 drivers who will be racing each other all the way through to the end here at Suzuka, with 15 minutes left to go in the qualifying session, which will surely tell us a bit more before the race. But we know for one thing for sure, is that Basco of McLaren is leading the World's Drivers' Championship in Tier 2, and he definitely would like to leave Suzuka as the championship leader as well. Will he succeed at it? Well, we're going to find out in about an hour, maybe a bit more.
Indeed, I'm just trying to get some stats up, but my phone is designed not to play ball. All the technical stuff is going wrong. I'm going to restart my phone here. But anyway, I was hoping to get the track map up to talk you through that, but we shall just watch Ocean Chief for now. He'll be first across the line in the Aston Martin. Coming through the last chicane and down to the start-finish line, and a 1:29.5 to start us off, which Whistle immediately dispatches with a 29.1. We've got the Haas next. That'll be Ever Snacksalotl. He goes into the 1:28. Yes, thank you, phone. Keyboard Magnussen. Not really surprised that he's down in fourth. I get a feeling that Suzuka is going to be one of his less successful tracks as Basco goes to provisional pole on 28.6. Obviously, the first section requiring some precision driving. Not an easy thing to do on the keyboard, it must be said. So credit to Keyboard Magnussen.
We do have Smelto joining the front row at the time. He's going for P2 while John Wick goes to P4. We have some yellow flags. Somebody made an incident. That was Whizzle. In Williams, he was letting someone through. But we do have a lot of yellow flags right now as Piggy is rounding up the second sector. Joel is now, I believe he's done with his hot lap, but he doesn't have ERs. I don't know what's that about. Magnetic just beginning his hot lap, so Piggy should be the first man right now to go across the finish line and hit the time on the board, as he's sitting at P10 at the moment. Only a couple of drivers were able to go underneath 1:29. Those were John Wick, Snacks, Smelto, and Basco. Will Piggy join this prestigious club, as he's just going for the long straight, picking up a bit of a slipstream from the Haas of the driver who was on his end lap, so that will definitely come in handy for the Aston Martin driver, who is now coming to the final corners of this Japanese circuit. Ooh, big slip up. Aye. It's not
touches the curb, going over the chicane, and just is very lucky not to spin, in honesty. Of course, that ruins his lap. Even with that mistake, he was only 2 seconds off, less than 2 seconds off Keyboard Magnussen, which bodes well for if he can put a clean lap together. Just watching Finsick on board here. We'll ride on board with him as he goes through turn 1. This long right-hander gradually downshifting the gears, although he prefers a much more... Oh, never mind, we're not watching that lap because he appears to have bottled it a little bit. Yeah, the first corner, probably one of the trickiest ones to get right if you're not familiar with Suzuka as a track. What you really want to do is avoid using the brake too much. You want to use the engine torque as you downshift gradually to slow the car down. Use the engine braking. And you want to go through it in about 4th gear by the time you get to the slowest part of the corner. It's a very difficult corner to get right, but if you nail it, you can gain so much time. And of course, your exit from that corner will affect your entire Sector 1 as you go through the left-right chicanes going up the hill. Just seeing who else is on outlap that we could watch. Horizon, I think I'm saying that right. In the other Haas is about to start his lap. We'll go on board. So, full throttle across the start-finish line. staying left side as much as possible before swooping into turn 1.
Ooh, Finsick! Finsick is gone! Finsick is
Finsick's
gone, don't know what
crashed.
happened. Finsick is out of the qualifying session, jeez. What happened there?
We'll try and find out what happened, but going through 3 and 4, and 5, 6 and 7 are these chicanes. You may be wondering, I know it's not the optimal line, but the curbs on this year's game can be deadly, so he's giving them a very respectable berth. Is Horizon. It's very easy to spin the car out as you go through. That was the Dunlop car we went through, number 9 to Degner 1 and Degner 2. Don't go wide on exit of Degner 2, it's very easy to do and bump across the curb. As we head up towards the hairpin. So easy to over-rev the throttle there as well because of the way the hairpin dips down on the inside. If you follow the racing line, it's actually very easy to spin up the rears. But now going up to the legendary spoon curve, so called because if you look at it from an aerial photo, it does look like the end of a spoon. To be quite honest, it goes concave on one side. And now down this long back straight towards the legendary 130R. You don't have to be as much of a daredevil in these cars with their ground effect characteristics as you used to be. Back in the early 2000s, if you went through, you were considered a madman at full throttle. But, oh no, he's invalidated on the final chicane there. You just saw, that was the Casio triangle, and he aborts before the last curve. Just got slightly too high on the curve on entry into the Casio triangle.
We do have Magnetic on a quick lap, who is slightly improving after Sector 1, so this could be a good one for Mercedes, as he went 300 faster than the previous lap, sorry, 3/10 faster than the previous lap in Sector 1, as he's going through Sector 2 currently. Finsick have said in the chat, well, F. Yeah, that definitely was
That sounds
some
about
kind of
right, doesn't it?
mistake. Yeah,
Also, I just
probably
want to
something
add in there, if anyone is younger than I am, which is probably most of you, and you don't know what Casio is, ask your parents or Google it. There's a reason it's called that name.
Yeah,
And it makes me feel very old just thinking about it. But here comes Magnetic, originally on a 131, which I don't feel was representative. He's coming around now with what looks to be a much better time, although only 0.2 quicker. Magnetic improving, but he's finding it difficult around here today. He's over a second down on Keyboard Magnussen in 10th. So not a good first couple of runs for Magnetic. Keyboard Magnussen is down in Sector 2, just looking who else is on there. Left is Elite, improves with a 129.2, but he stays in P7. Whistlewill is starting another lap. John Wick is on the out lap. Eversnack Slottle is up by 0.2. They're all fairly close together. Smelto stays P... No, he started his lap, sorry, I apologize. So, of the higher runners, it'll be Eversnaxalotl will be the first to see if he can displace Basco. Top 5 at the minute, all in the 128s, all within 0.3 of each other as well. And Snaxalotl has... He's been threatening on the fringes of the front throughout the season, hasn't he? He's been up at the front battling quite a few times. He's been unlucky on some occasions, but he's always threatened up there. Just never had really the luck to make it stick up there. But he's nearly 0.3 up on this lap, which, if he's going more time here, could catapult him towards pole. He comes to the line, and indeed it is pole, a 28.6 just. Verch has aborted his lap. The two McLarens running nose to tail now. We could get some slipstream here. Smelto benefiting. Maybe they're doing 2 runs, going to benefit each other. But Smelto will get a great slipstream. He's already 0.3 up. But Basco will be the first to cross the line. As he goes through the chicane, bumps across that first one very aggressively. Does he displace Snaxalotl? He does, and his teammate immediately displaces him. 0.3 quicker. That slipstream was massively worth it for Smelto.
Yeah, absolutely. Smelto with a huge advantage due to the slipstream, and now pushing his teammate and Eversnax down a couple of places. Verge is in the pits right now, while John Wick is improving after second sector, but not even closely enough to possibly go in for a front row battle unless the final sector was worth it. Definitely was.
He went wide and he owes us 10 quid for the bollard.
Yeah, absolutely. What an aggressive turn into the corner. We do have Ocean Chief on fire. We have Piggy, who almost slipped out of the track, somehow kept it on track. Larson has just gone at the lap, but he doesn't have much battery left. Horizon has invalidated, so he's gonna have 6 minutes to go and still didn't put a time on board. Neither him or Joel did, so we're gonna have to wrap it up because it's about damn time that you stop making mistakes and finally put a time on the board no matter what it is, because you have a bigger chance of starting from the midfield than from the bottom of the stack like Finsick will, who will definitely not make a time due to him crashing. So that is very important for you to make at least a decent time. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it's better than nothing.
Ocean Chief, not he must be on a cooldown lap, I think, because he's down 22% and he's nowhere near as improving on his time. Is he going to finish this lap? We'll wait and see, as Piggy is now facing the wrong way on the exit of the spoon curve. Flick spins it. Get back round, and indeed, Ocean Chief does aboard for the pit lane. The Astons, well, in the midfield, not having the best of qualifying sessions today, are they? Halanan is on the lap right now. So I believe is Larson, and Larson will be the first one of those two complete lap. In fact, no, he's backed off. Larson backs off. So it's just Halanan. Maybe, oh, Larson slowing down on 130R, maybe trying to give his teammate a slipstream here. No, just moves out of the way. I think Larson's run out of fuel. Halanan running very low on ERS, but he burned it all through 130R where he needed to, up to the Casio triangle. Was on the 129.5, the reserve for V-Carb, coming to the line now, and improves to P8 with a 129.1 on the fringes of the 128s.
Yeah, that is a small improvement from him, as Keyboard Magnussen is just beginning his another hot lap. Larson coming into the pits, Joel being on an out lap, so Keyboard Magnussen is probably the only person right now doing an actual hot lap after Halnan has came in across the finish line. And we'll see if he can improve anything from here. Like you said, it's a difficult track as itself, so driving it on keyboard is definitely even more challenging for him, as the Kicksauber driver is now going for the first sector, which is probably the most difficult on this track to do, especially on a keyboard, with a huge improvement of 3/10ths only in one sector. This could be a good one for Keyboard Magnussen if he keeps up this pace as he heads into the second sector. Now he has to do this very nice and smooth. Definitely does, nowhere near close to spinning out, so that could be a good one for Keyboard Magnussen, who is trying to steer this car aggressively as he passes, I believe, Mercedes, as he keeps getting closer towards the final sector around this long corner, and he does that pretty well. Not sure about the pace, but definitely nowhere near having a mistake. So Magnussen is on a flyer. Let's see his time after second sector, how big of an improvement that is. It's 0.7. It's a purple second sector for Keyboard Magnussen as the Kicksauber is coming closer to the finish line. This could be a good one for Keyboard Magnussen, catching up wherever he can. Goes to the final sector, across the finish line he goes, and Keyboard Magnussen up into 6th. Great improvement from the Kicksauber.
I was going to say, I mean, 7/10ths, don't get me wrong, huge improvement, but when you compare it to the pole time, he was never really threatening for pole there, but you don't expect it on the keyboard. You're saying he's driving the lap aggressively. He really has no choice. I mean, you know, you can imagine look at the onboard. Look at the way the driver is, yanking that wheel, very jittery. I mean, he must have no problems getting tire temp up with moving the wheel like that, but you wonder how he manages with tire wear whenever the fronts are moving around that much, but he's obviously found a way to make it work on the keyboard. So yes, P6 for Keyboard Magnussen. While he's been out there, we've got a 3/10th improvement. Oh no, hang on, sorry, that's a glitch in the timing, I apologize. Snaxalol is on the lap. Verge has improved by nearly 2/10ths. John Wick is also on the lap. Currently sitting P5 in the Ferrari. 4/10ths up for him, so that would put him possibly on the front row. I really don't see anyone challenging Smelto unless they get a slipstream through the entirety of 130R like Smelto did. Smelto kind of benefited from his teammate there. John Wick, as I predicted, goes to P2 and actually very nearly threatens pole without the slipstream, so cancel what I just said. The track obviously improving enough for John Wick to pose a threat in that Scarlet Ferrari. Snaxalotl is coming around. He's only a 10th up in the second sector. Obviously, when you're at the top of the field, top end of the field, it is harder to find those improvements. It's part of the reason why a lot of people find F1 on the competitive level so difficult. You play against AI and you're nearly a second, 2 seconds quicker. You suddenly come up against real players, you're probably only finding a 10th, half a 10th on certain laps as Keyboard Magnussen retires, realizing there's not enough time to go out again. But you learn to accept those small victories because they can mean a huge amount. As Snaxolotl finds just a small improvement of less than 3/10, but he gets him onto the second row of the grid. And his teammate coming to join him on a P7 as Joel goes P6. Everyone improving on this final run.
See how much of an improvement can ever Snux put up. I see he's P3 as of right now, so he did improve. Busco is on outlap with 1 minute to go. McLaren's doing the same strategy again, running behind one another. So now it seems like Busco is still ahead of Smelto, but Smelto could be possibly getting ahead of him, yeah, as he does. So that could mean that Smelto will now give some slipstream towards Busco. So definitely McLarens are working together right now, trying to make the most of it. With this teamwork, and this is a nice sight to see, as teamwork is not usually the most important part of Formula 1, but in McLaren this definitely is the case.
So not papaya rules then? We're not doing papaya rules, I guess, as John Wick retired. Just while we were watching the McLarens real quick, sorry, Piggy did not improve. He was on his final run, so he will stay P13. We'll watch the two McLarens. Now this is interesting that Smelto is... I get what he's trying to do, he's giving the slipstream, but this is literally the worst part of the track to be following a car in dirty air. Basco is going to... You can see Basco immediately starting to fall back as he's receiving that dirty air from his teammate in front, making him lose grip in the first sector. We'll see if he improves. I mean, he's a 10th up, but I feel like he could have got more out of that. So, ooh, big lockup as Smelto goes wide, so that's his final attempt done. But I think he thinks his pole time is safe. The only one really threatening at the minute is Verch and possibly Basco himself. Snaxolotl is in the pits. John Wick retired. Verch is slightly behind, so we'll change back to him afterwards. I'm pretty sure Smelto's invalidated. I don't know if you can tell us.
I don't think he did. The game doesn't show that.
It looked like he ran wide on the exit of Degna too, but maybe it was just some netcode. As overtake activated, Basco getting the full slipstream down 130R. This could be pole if he keeps it clean. 3/10 up in the second sector. Now he has to keep it clean in this final chicane, and the front row, if not pole, could belong to Basco. Will the McLarens lock out the front row? So far the answer is yeah. Wow, even with the slipstream, Smelto holds on to pole. But does Verch have something to say? At the death throes of this qualifying session, is it enough? No, it's P3, but a fine effort. So even with the slipstream, Basco, I feel like, again, that first sector is what killed it for him. He probably lost too much time going through the S's, but gained it on 130R. But then, you know, it's very hard to coordinate the gaps. We don't have professional strategists, you know, in here. These guys are making the decisions in the cockpit as they go. There's no team managers in this league or anything. It is just the drivers. But the McLarens lock out the front row. Smelto leading his teammate by 10th. Verch will be very happy with P3 and will want to do something with that. John Wick in 4th, Snaxolotl 5th, Joel 6th. Lefter is elite in the Alpine in P7, Horizon in P8, Larson in P9, and Keyboard Magnussen rounding out the top 10. Leaving us with Ocean Chief, Whistlewill, Hananan, Piggy, Magnetic, and poor Finsick. Didn't even get a lap done.
Yeah, that is a shame for a Ferrari driver, but McLaren's absolutely dominating. Maybe not the whole season just about yet, but definitely are on it their way, as we do have another 1-2 for McLaren and the Red Bull right behind them. The gaps are not huge though, especially if you include the fact that McLarens were doing their laps with a lot of slipstream, so this could mean we're going to have some nice racing ahead of us, despite the small gaps in the qualifying. So
well, I was going to say, the entire field, not including, well, if you... Magnetic I don't think has a representative time, and so if you go from Piggy, it's covered by 1.3 seconds. The top 11 covered by less than a second, so it is very close round here, as you said. Your predictions then? Who do we bet?
Well, McLaren definitely are at the advantage, but then again, we didn't know what the real pace is going to be in comparison between the Red Bull, Ferrari, and McLaren. So it's hard to make any predicaments, but yeah, if you want to make for a safe bet, then betting on McLaren, any one of those two boys, Smelto or Basco, it's an easy pick for them. So yeah, most likely McLaren.
I feel like Verch is a bit of a dark horse here. He hasn't had the best of luck throughout the season, and sometimes that's been from his own over-aggression. But he's sitting pretty on P3, one of his better qualifyings this season. And if he gets a good launch off the line, he could be mixing it right in there with the McLarens. Of course, watch out for all of our reserves that have shown up for the race this week. They've shown good promising qualifying. We've got, I think, a P6 and a P9 in there for 2 of our reserves. So certainly they could be one to watch if they can keep it clean on racecraft as well. They'll be looking to impress, but of course the best way to impress is not only is not just to finish well, but you have to finish in the first place.
Absolutely.
As we're just waiting for the cars. Here we go. 5 red lights. And we are away in Japan. Smelto doesn't get a good launch. Basco pulling up alongside, and Vert lighting up the rears and blowing that start. He lit up the rears, was too eager. Eversnack's all takes third, John Wick up to 4th. Big lock-up from everyone as they come through. Horizon sees his way safely through to P6. A few of the drivers sliding around on their rear tyres, from what I can see. There doesn't seem to be much grip without having a formation lap. But all seem to be through fairly clean. But poor old Verge, back down to 14th. He just lit up the rears off the start. And looking through the field, what have we got here? Ocean Chief trying to make progress from a disappointing qualifying. He's gotten ahead of Halanan, who is sitting in P11. And there you can see the tyre strategies at the bottom. Most drivers probably opting for the one stop, the hard. You can come in early for the hard. The hard is basically made of titanium Kevlar alloy or something and seems to last forever. As John Wick's hold on P5 does not last forever, the reserve of Horizon looking to show his true skills and going wheel to wheel on the approach to Spoon. This is great close quarters racing. Horizon backs out of it as they both go wide. John Wick being a little bit cheeky there by carrying too much speed. He'll get a track limit warning for that, and remember, you get 3 of those, it's a time penalty. But Horizon showing good early aggression as Smelto tucks under his
down the
teammate.
inside. 2 positions for Sauber, but he makes contact with the Haas of Horizon. Sorry, but Keyboard Magnus, I saw him slipping down the inside. I was like, he's not gonna go for it, and he did. 2 positions for Kick Sauber with a bit of contact on a Haas, but that was worth it for him surely.
Randy Orton slithering in there as the 2 McLarens are nose to tail, and Smelto wants to reclaim that lead. Or not reclaim the lead. Well, yes, sorry, it would have been. Yes, Smelto did lose the lead there somewhere. So the McLaren's staying together, but I tell you what, Snaxalotl is not letting them get away.
John Wick and Joel battling it out. Oh, nice one from John Wick as he goes back to P4, overtaking Joel. And now Joel will be having his teammate, Keyboard Magnussen, right behind them, who is under pressure as well.
Little bit of a battle at the back. Verch actually coming under pressure from Insick, both of which are trying to make up for a bad qualifying and a bad race start respectively. Magnetic keeping them company back there, but Insick got pushed a little bit wide. Kept it all clean though, they're just about to keep it clean as Horizon is on the grass and has not pulled off it yet. He needs to get off of there. It's cost him 2 positions to Larson Ocean Chief, and he runs wide with the dirt on his tyres. He's lost out to Halanan. Yeah, he's got dirt on those tyres. I don't know why he was on the grass for so long, but it's cost him. He's now down to P11. And the tyre strategies have stopped. I don't know why it's showing the soft tyre compound, because no one is running the softs. So thanks, FOM. You're as good in game as you are in real life. Verge sliding everywhere there. A lot of drivers seem to be running low rear wings, and it's making them suffer on the rear grip. But look at this battle at the front. The top 3 have broken away from a second, so they're out of DRS range. But Snaxalotl is not giving these 2 papayas a moment to breathe. As further on back, Whistle and Piggy's in the gravel. Piggy force wide, he goes into the pits. I wonder if there's contact between him and Whistle as Verch makes his way through as well. So even at the back, we're getting some good action here. Everyone fighting hard, even if it's for the lower reaches of the positions. Just trying to flick through. It's hard to keep an eye on where the action is.
Keyboard Magnussen made up to TP5. We have some yellows, and that's Magnetic in the back spinning. We have Keyboard Magnussen going up to P5 out of his teammate Joel. But that overtake is going to cause him some troubles because he's not in the range of DRS of John Wick, who is pulling away constantly. Well, he's going to have to defend up from Joel and the whole field running behind him, as there are a lot of people that are trying to get the best of these Kick Saubers. So far, they're standing their ground as John Wick is trying to close the gap towards the top.
Lefter is elite. We just saw the Alpine going up the inside into the hairpin. He is held off by Joel for now, but look at this absolute Sauber train forming. We go on board with Lefter. On the approach to Spoon, he's thought about it, but thought better of it. you'd think it'd be a really good overtaking opportunity, but the speed that you carry is such that it's very difficult to actually make a move there. But with the slipstream, of course, no DRS along 130R, believe it or not. Can you imagine if they, I mean, they used to back in the day, and it was terrifying.
Yeah.
Because going through 130R with the DRS open now, that called for some bravery. And speaking of bravery, Brave on the brakes from left, he got right underneath the rear wing of Joel. No way through on this occasion. Joel has burned everything in this defense. And look at this train. Look at this absolute train lane of cars.
Yep.
Left is going to the inside. He tried to do a
not
Kimi
enough.
Raikkonen, and it didn't happen. He thought about it.
Not going to be enough pace. And you have to wonder what's the plan for Kick Sauber's. Keyboard is not really pulling away. Joel is defending with everything he's got, but he doesn't have much more to spare for defending the whole grid off. So you're going to have to come up with something before they get in trouble, because the Alpines, V-Carbs, Aston Martins are coming in, closing in every second. So it's going to be a difficult time for the boys in Kick Sauber as they're approached by seemingly everyone on the grid.
I mean,
so for holding back.
That's part of the problem with this year's game so far, is that I believe it's similar fairly to 22, I believe, which was made by the same development team, as we see Lefter trying another goal here. You're saying about the Saubers trying something different, but what can they try different? Because counter strategy has been proven to be worse on every track. If you go on the hards, then you take the mediums and they just die a lot quicker. You're better just going onto the hards later in the race. The softs are basically worthless, which is why no one is running them. Very few tracks on this year's game apply to different strategies. Silverstone is a good one, you can make the softs work there, but around Japan, everyone seems to have the same idea, and that's because it's the idea that works. You go medium to hard on the one stop. And you can see that the tires are holding well enough, because everyone's still doing great battles even after 5 laps of constant racing, but I don't see what else the Saubers could have done that wouldn't have screwed them over in some way. All they can do is keep on trucking and try and hold on to what they've got. They're not in a bad position, 5th and 6th. But as you say, it's just going to have to be a hard-fought battle and hope that you're quick on the pit stops as well.
Lefter's lead is just now pushing on the back of Joel as he's really trying to pass him, but doesn't have enough space or enough pace in some moments of the track. And right now he was just in the back of the Kick Sauber, but he just didn't have enough space to squeeze himself and his Alpine ahead of him. So he's now going to have to still sit behind Joel as he's trying to find a spot. This is an overtaking spot, but I don't think he's going to have enough pace to carry it into this corner. Maybe he will. No, he's not going to take that risk as he gets bumped from behind from the V-Carb of Larson.
Larson, I saw that. Ocean Chief taking advantage. Not
to go right outside. Yeah, he's still in there. Give it a second.
Close.
Yep, that was very close, but he gets the job done.
Oh, he bumped him a bit wide on the entrance to spin, and there goes Larson. He got bumped wide there. I think he might have a word with the stewards about that. That was kind of unneeded for Emotion Chief. He'd already run him onto the curb. You shouldn't really be running a driver off the track. Bit naughty, I would say. Although I would personally argue it's hard racing, but whether the V-Carbs will agree is a different matter entirely. Speaking of the V-Carbs, Hallinan looking to avenge his teammate as he goes through the Casio triangle. Oh, bit of a slip up at the front for Lefter. He's dropped back from the Saubers. He got the rears all hot up there. Joel alongside his teammate. This is the inter-team battle, and Keyboard Magnussen wisely gives up that place. He knows it's not worth smashing his teammate off. Further on back, meanwhile, what on earth is going on here? Wissawill, Verge, Horizon, Magnetic, actually not Magnetic, he's further back, my apologies. It's Finsick who's on a recovery drive, and he's doing well so far. He's up to P11, and look at that, Williams literally bump drafting him through the corner.
Jesus, NASCAR style from Wissawill. I know that Williams had an American driver, but it's not the case anymore, so give it up as Wissawill is still behind him.
Just looking there, Finsick is missing his front left end plate.
Yes, he is. That's going to cause a lot of trouble for the Ferrari driver, as he's going to have to struggle a bit more.
Speaking of trouble, Larson locking up in the hairpin and dropping back. He's not having a fun time at the minute, is Larson. Lefter is having a great time, though. Great for us to watch. I'm sure it's a lot of fun to cockpit. He's probably making that Alpine more blue every second with his language as he tries to get past these fluorescent green of the Saubers, and he just cannot get past.
Absolutely. However, Joel has significantly improved his gap. We have yellow flags. That's Piggy in the back. Yeah, Joel is improving his gap over Keyboard Magnus, and he was building it for quite a while, but it all got decreased the moment that Keyboard has got
Oh,
some of
Magnetic's
the
gone.
Slipstream, and Magnetic's out, and
Safety car,
car's up.
safety car. Who makes it to the pits?
And Verge gets a
Larson.
10-second time penalty for collision with Wizawil. What is going on?
Oh, from 10th down have read that perfectly and have made it into the pits. This could be crucial for them.
Yeah.
I can see the end plate as Verge. Does he change his front wing? Oh, he has to wait the 10 seconds. No, the bright side is, of course, it's under safety car, so this 10 seconds really doesn't mean much to him. He'll still be able to rejoin the back of the field, and he was at the back anyway. So he'll actually get away with that not too badly. But the back 10 will be able to get the free pit stop. They will be collected by the safety car. Everyone else will have to match the delta, and potentially they could make up a couple of positions here, or at least catch up to that field and repair any damage that they had. So so Finsick will go with a repaired wing. Horizon is on good rubber now as well. Verch has neutralized his penalty. This is looking promising for these ones. Piggy will actually be able to rejoin the field as well, because the safety car will prevent him from being lapped. He's not pitting.
Yeah, this is great for everybody in the back, but this is awful for everybody in the front, as they had a quite nice gap. The top 3, even top 4, had a nice gap over everybody else, and now this gap is going to be absolutely gone. They're going to have to rebuild that advantage over everybody else on the grid, starting from beginning once again after safety car restart.
I'll tell you what, I just realised Piggy's gone for the 2-stop. He's on 3-lap old mediums. Piggy's gone for the 2-stop strat, so that's interesting. I mean, he's got nothing to lose. He's at the back. Everyone, of course, coming in the pits. Yeah, sure. Of course. Oh no, the McLarens will have to double stack.
Oh yeah, they will lose.
And so will the Saubers. No, wait, they won't. Keyboard Magnussen goes on.
Ooh, was that a sacrificial of Keyboard Magnussen for the sake of Joel, or just Keyboard Magnussen experiment?
Possibly, yes. But look at Basco.
Oh my goodness.
He's down to P. He's recovering a few places. He's back. He's now in P5. Disaster for Basco with a double stack.
Yeah, he's gonna regain a position from Keyboard, but still, it's gonna be P4 from the leading of the race. So that is a bad, awful news for Basco, as he ends up behind Eversnax and John Wick. It's gonna be tough to pass these two, as they have proven to have a pace around the circuit so far during the race. What's with the Saubers? I mean, sure, the double stack will cause them to lose a lot, but coming to the pits right now at the end of this lap would cause them to lose even more, unless, of course, he's going to stay out, because I think that's the best you can do right now as a Keyboard.
I mean, what was the medium tire life was meant to last until around lap 13, and with us being under safety car, you could reasonably take these to what? Lap 15, 16, if you've been looking after them?
Kind of.
So, I mean, and there's no, and you know, it's not out of the question another safety car could happen in that time frame. We've seen how aggressive the battling's been, so maybe a bit of a gamble by Sauber, but hey, sometimes gambles are what win you races, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not too sure what happened to Magnetic in the end there. I don't know if there's anything in chat and YouTube chat. We can always have a look there as well.
Nope, so far no.
No, that's okay. No word from him in the chat either. But Magnetic's, let's be real here, miserable season is continuing. He's not really had much luck on this year's game so far, which is a shame, because I know Magnetic. I've raced with him before. He tries his best to be clean and you know, consistent, and he's a very good driver. You know, don't let the fact that he's having a bad season, you know, dismiss that. I've raced with him before, and he's a very good driver. Just sometimes a game gels with you, and sometimes it doesn't. Looking at you, 21 and 23 respectively for me. 21, I came second in my championship. 23, I was 14th. So, you know, you get some games, you lose some games. Now, will Magnussen pit? No, he will not.
I mean, at this point, you just can't pit, because he would end up dead last. So the best chance they've got is just to stay out and gamble on another safety car or something like that, because without it, there's nothing they can do. If they just go for a stop right now, it's gonna end up last anyway. So at this point, just take a gamble, risk it, try to find something else.
Tell you what, Horizon's pitting. He's got a damaged front wing.
Ooh.
And he's going to the softs.
Ooh, what the hell?
Ladies and gentlemen, the wild card has been thrown, so Horizon will have to make another stop, but you know, he's not too sure where he got the damage from. In fact, it's cost him so much he's actually dropped behind Piggy.
I'm
who
sure
is
was that
basically
under
on...
the safety car before. Had to be under the safety car because he was hitting the pit stops before. So no
Yeah.
idea what happened there, but
Unless
yeah.
he got the glitch where if you're on auto front wing, it doesn't repair it. Which has been in the game for like 3 years. Codemasters, fix it, please. This is why you're losing the license in 2026.
Yeah, this could be the case.
Yeah, this actually hasn't gone too well for Piggy, to be honest. Because although he didn't have to make another pit stop, he's basically burnt away his tyres by playing catch-up with the field. He's only just caught up to them now. And of course, when you're catching the safety car queue, the delta isn't really a thing. So he's gone full pelt to catch this pack. His tyres will be warmed up, but he's basically taken another 3 laps of life out of them. So be interesting to see what he does. Horizon, I genuinely have no idea what the plan is. So he'll be one to watch. How badly will Magnussen hold up the field? Will Smelto hold on? Will Snaxalol and John Wick take advantage? How will Basco fight back? Lefter has shown to be aggressive throughout this race and clean as well. Ocean Chief is on the way up. And Finsick even has made a good comeback from the back of the grid up to P11. Safety car in the slap. We'll see all of these answers as we take the restart.
Yeah, Keyboard Magnussen is going to be crucial in this race in context of victory in this Grand Prix, because right now whoever passes Keyboard Magnussen the fastest will gain advantage, because he will hold off a couple of laps eventually. Now the question is who and for how long, because if Smelto can pass him early on and then wish that he will stick behind Snack, Swick and everybody else, he will have a highway all the way through to the victory, but he caught him sleeping!
Snaxalon was the main one sleeping though. Snaxalon under immediate pressure. John Wick pressurizing, so too is Basco. Joel having a little sniff. He's trying to weave and get his tyres up to temp, but it seems to be that Snaxalon has survived for now. I told you to watch for Finsick. He's immediately up to P10, getting past Larson. Although still with a broken front wing, mind you. I noticed his front wing is still broken. He never got it fixed in the pit lane.
Finsick is on absolutely comeback right now as he got a second chance from the fate with the safety car. And I'm telling you what, Smelto is not really closing in on Magnussen as fast as I expected him to do so. So far, he's actually in a medium gap, while Eversnax is still right on the back of the McLaren. So Smelto, he should have been passing him as soon as possible, but he just can't.
Oh, speaking of passing, Basco to the outside. He is ahead at the apex, but goes deep. John Wick reclaims position. And Lefter, who I told you to watch for, tries to make the move on Joel, but just spins up the rears. They're still side by side. Basco and John Wick.
Finsick's down to 15. If you don't know what happened to the Ferrari driver, as
Basco
Finsick goes all the way down.
John Wick does hold the line for now. You were talking about the tyres heating up, and Smelto is coming along now. Of course, they were scrub medium, so Magnussen would get more heat into them, but they are weaker, and now that the hards are getting some temperature in them, Smelto should be able to take advantage. Keyboard Magnussen does have more ERS though. He seems to have good straight line speed in that Sauber. As Horizon makes his way past Piggy on the soft compound tyre and begins his rather interesting second stint of the race.
Smelto is closing in on Keyboard Magnussen. He should be getting the job done any moment, but he just can't do it. Look at the difference of the pace on the straight. Great speed from Magnussen as he keeps Smelto behind. Smelto will have to do it in an overtaking spot in the corner, but it's going to be difficult to pass him as Keyboard Magnussen doesn't allow Smelto to pass him, and Smelto bumps into the back of Kick Sauber. He's going to have to do it clean, because every even small minor mistake in here can cost you a win, as Eversnax is just waiting for some kind of mistake from Smelto, who is lurking behind the Magnussen again, but doesn't have enough pace to pass him. And even if he does, he needs enough space on the track, which is difficult to do. It's Zuka as he goes to the right side. Can he do him around the outside? No, he does not. He has too late in the corner, and Keyboard Magnussen survives another moment as the race leader, and I'm pretty sure nobody expected this for him to hold on for so long.
Smelto trying to find his way to the inside for Spoon. That's the way to get through, but the way that the corner goes, it gives advantage to the leading car to dictate the racing line. And Smelto, we got a good run out of Spoon though. No DRS, of course. He's alongside now. We see the straight line speed, but look at that. Are we sure that the green on the Sauber isn't an extra can of nitrous or something?
Jesus, what a pace on Kick Sauber on the straight lines. Incredible from Keyboard Magnussen, still holding Smelto behind, and I don't expect Smelto to catch him anytime soon. He will have a DRS, But is this gonna be enough? I'm pretty sure it won't, as we have Joel right on the back of Basco, but so far no one making moves into turn 1, as we have Larson passing his teammate Halnan for P9 instead of his P10 so far. Finzik is at the back of third, but down to 15th, so Finzik's comeback drive was cut short again.
You have to wonder if this is the actual oh no, contact!
Oh my goodness, keyboard
that was far too
snacks.
That was far too opportunistic from Smelto. No one would try to overtake on the top of the S's. That was a...
And how did Snacks pass through both of them somehow?
I think there was some ghosting involved. And I'm sorry if I sound a bit cruel here, but that was a stupid move from Smelto. You're going flat out at the top of the hill there onto a sharp left-hander where there really only is one racing line. That move is exactly what happened back in... I'm going to show my age here. 2001 with Alesi and Raikkonen. And it ended up with Alesi near losing his head in the process, with the cars going over each other. That was a really dumb move from Smelto, and it's broken his front wing. Smelto has only cost himself here. Keyboard Magnussen has now lost the lead. I don't know if he can reclaim it on the old mediums, but Snaxolotl says thank you very much. And John Wick is trying to find a way through now, and will do so, I believe. He's on the inside.
Not quite yet.
Oh, he's been bumped wide.
Smelto is being...
Smelto's being really aggressive here.
And here comes Basco now to the left side of the Ferrari. He gets the job done. Smelto really defending aggressively. He's going to let through his teammate because he can't do anything else. Will he? Yes, he will let through Basco, who is on a fresh run right now.
And he runs wide, and John Wick goes through.
Eversnack's in a great spot right now. He's ahead of Keyboard Magnussen, who, let's be honest, realistically, will not regain the lead anytime soon. And now Basco will have to pass Keyboard Magnussen first to get closer to Eversnacks. In the meantime, Eversnacks will build a huge gap that will not allow the McLarens to get the DRS. And Horizon gets a 3-second time penalty, which means that if there will not be a second car, safety car, this could be a great chance for Eversnacks.
Sorry, Smelter went wide, and Joel lost the rear coming through the second deck. Now that's why he's dropping places. Oh, it's all chaos in the midfield here. Larson and Hallinan battling again. Hallinan getting ahead of Larson. Ocean Chief took advantage there, and he's up to P7. Lefter in P6 now. That's thrown this race all into confusion. Basco is now trying to get past Keyboard Magnussen. He has to now. He has to find a way past this Sauber at any cost, because look at the gap at the front. Snaxolotl is able to escape through the corners because the Sauber does have straight line speed, but it can't hold the pace through the corners. So wait, see, if Keyboard Magnussen stays ahead on this lap, which it looks like he will, just watch the gap increase through sector 1, through the left, right. But will Basco allow it to happen?
Jesus,
DRS.
John Wick, sorry, almost went for a pit wall collision as he slipped on the final corner, was about to hit the pit wall, barely saving it. In the meantime, Smelto is coming to the pits, picking up 10 seconds.
Penalty. Here we are. Watch the interval here. 2.3 at the minute. Now watch through the S's, because Basco will not make it through. There's 2.5, 2.6, 2.7, 2.8. There is no pace on those tyres through the S's. Keyboard Magnussen has fallen back nearly a second, and by extension Basco has nearly lost another second in one sector alone. He has to dispatch of this Sauber now.
And he can't do it as he's still putting up a fight in the corners, being faster on the straights. There's not too much Basco can do. Maybe right here to the outside he will go. Mistake from Basco will deny him another opportunity for an overtake, as he can't just switch back on Keyboard Magnussen. Has to follow him again. Keyboard Magnussen goes in the gap. Immediate aggressive switch. Switching again.
Basco, I know you can't hear me, but remember, this is what your teammate did. He got desperate, and look what they did to him. He's down in 15th. I know it's a struggle, but you've got to find a patient way to get through. Could he possibly do it here? Has Keyboard Magnussen run out of DRS? No, he hasn't.
No. Keyboard Magnussen is too quick on the straights. Basco will eventually have to get desperate, because the victory has pulled away from him, and his podium position is not safe yet, with everybody sitting right behind him.
He can't afford.
Keyboard is the crucial thing right now.
But he can't afford to get desperate, because he's further up in the championship. He's still on the fringe there. Even if he finishes as is, you know, Keyboard Magnussen will have to pit at some point. And then what? That would be a guaranteed P2. Do you really want to risk it and do what your
Well,
teammate
it's not
did
really
and finish go home with no
He
points?
has John. It's not really guaranteed. Sorry, he has John Wick, Left Elite, and Chief right behind him on the DRS range. So it's not really
But
a
even if it's just
confirmed
those,
podium for him.
even if it's those top 4, that's 12 points at minimum versus 0 points. I know every driver wants to go from the win, but you don't, as Kimi Räikkönen proved back in 03, you don't win championships by winning races. I know he came second originally, but he was only 1 point at the end. Do you know what? He only won 1 race in the entire season. It was his consistency and constantly scoring points that got him the championship. You don't
Basco
want to
doesn't
make these
want
desperate
consistency.
lunges.
Basco wants to overtake Keyboard once again, and this time
Oh,
he'll
he
have
lost
a
the
chance.
rear.
But he slipped. He got too early on the throttle. He got too desperate. He is still gonna try it one more time. He will not have the opportunity because he slipped. He had a moment, a scary moment for
slipped and had a
himself.
moment, and
He was
again,
close to going off.
Like I was telling you, the racing line has been dictated. He was forced to the outside of Spoon. And look at John Wick coming up here. Not only does he have to attack, he has to defend now. Could we
Oh,
see
John
a
Wick to the
3-wide
right
battle?
side. Basco pushing him hard, trying to get him off
The
the track.
outside of 130R,
Close.
John Wick! Does he make it? He
Gets
does,
the
round the
job
outside of
done.
130R.
Wow.
Stunning move from the Ferrari.
Jeez. Now can Ferrari pass Keyboard Magnussen somehow, because Kick Sauber is still holding on strong. John Wick is now right behind him, with Basco being dropped to 4th. And this is a big
yellows.
time. We have yellow flags.
That's Piggy
caused by
again.
Piggy, and Whistle gets a 10 seconds for speeding in the pit lane as well.
And Whistle will retire.
As he
He's had
retired.
enough. I'll tell you what though, you're talking about potentially going for the win. I think it's gone now. Look, 5 points
Yeah,
on
at
the
this
gap
point.
to the
Yeah,
leaders.
yeah.
The horse
I
has
mean,
bolted.
I was trying to keep it somehow, like, you know, maybe there's still a room for a fight for the win when he was like 2 seconds ahead, but 5, almost 6 seconds now. I think the win is gone away unless Eversnacks will just say, no, I don't want to win. I'll make a silly mistake and deny himself victory, but he's
I mean,
the
it's
only
giving
man
us a
who can
great
ruin his
battle
own
though.
race.
I mean, look at look at this.
Yeah, look at the snake behind this green Kick Sauber. Absolutely incredible how close they are. And no one can make a move because it all relies on John Wick to pass Keyboard, which has been proven tough to do.
Where's Keyboard Magnussen from again? What's his flag?
Oh my god.
Because we need to figure out what Minister of Defense position he's taking.
I forgot completely. We'll check this
9.
after the race, but surely it's gonna be a hell lot of a title. Look at John Wick coming on the inside of Keyboard, but he
Oh, the
has
double
to sit
slipstream.
behind
Here
the
comes
Kick Sauber.
Basco.
Will he take
does-
the risk, Basco?
Yeah, he got the
And
move done
Basco
before
gains
130R.
it.
John Wick's not giving up though. He does eventually see.
Gonna have to. Peggy gets a free step as well. Ooh.
That was close. I thought we were going to lose a camera there as Basco potentially hit the back. Oh, Keyboard Magnussen.
Ooh,
Did he not
Basco
get
the
the
great
exit?
exit from the corner, but it's
But-
not gonna be nowhere near enough.
But look at the ERS
pace on
difference.
this keyboard. This is absolute
lefter.
rocket ship.
Lefter makes it up to P4, but look at the difference in ERS. Keyboard knows exactly where to deploy that ERS and where to save it, whereas Basco is deploying it in more sectors and not gaining anything as Horizon gets another 3-second penalty for his troubles. But Keyboard Magnussen driving the defensive race of his life. This is like Alonso back in Hungary when he was defending from Hamilton. This is brilliant stuff.
Yep. This is probably the best defensive drive we have seen this season, if not one of the best in the history of SLRs. Keyboard Magnussen is holding off the entire grid on 16, remember, 16 old lap mediums, and he's still holding off the entire grid, exception being Eversnacks, who's running for the win.
Gap
as Verge makes
8.4 at
move
the front
east
now.
end.
Look at that.
Yeah, Joel had a slip up as he got turned into a ghost for a second that allowed Vert to pass him for P7. And now, since Ocean Chief has reconnected the snakes, we have a whole grid from P2 all the way down to P10 in a DRS range. I don't think we have seen these kind of scenes in this season at least.
comes
Here
Lefter.
comes Lefter. Can he make some of it? No, he cannot. He's relying on
what,
Basco to pass Keyboard, but he can't.
I'll tell you what I've noticed from Keyboard Magnussen, just watching. I've been trying to decipher his sort of his racecraft here. As John Wick looks to the outside of the triangle, will he make the move stick? He's alongside. Oh, does Basco finally have the legs on the Sauber? He's alongside, but he doesn't have the ERS to burn.
Oh my god.
I was watching the driving style. When we go right next time, I want you to watch and see if he does it again. Keyboard Magnussen seems to be very good at holding off on the throttle. Oh, they're bumping each other. This is getting silly now. Basco is getting frustrated. Basco is getting really frustrated here. This is going to end in tears. As SLR Ocean Chief, getting caught up in that bumping and barging, has lost out to Verch. They're all concertining each other. It's like, you ever seen an accordion where you squeeze it all together and pull it all apart? That's what we're seeing right now.
Yeah.
And some people, of course, are the parts in the middle that are getting squished.
Look at this beautiful image of just almost 10 cars running behind each other, so close to each other.
Whoa, Joel
but
with a double overtake.
Much.
Insect getting through as well. Lefter and John Wick are battling as well.
Someone's off to the grass. That was Larson who got completely off the track, and he's down
not even
all
in
the way
that
through
battle.
the P10. Yeah, just this whole battle going on behind Keyboard Magnussen is picking up victim after victim. As
really
another
wish we
drivers
had
tend to make mistakes.
I really wish we had a helicopter camera right now to see all of the cars at once.
Absolutely.
Basco, does he have the speed to go ahead and attack the Sauber? No, he does not.
Really.
But John Wick has the speed to attack the McLaren. Thinks about going to the inside, thinks better of it. Look at them all shimmying for position on this track. As Verch, just gets on the brakes in time trying to pass Joel. It doesn't happen. Sorry, Joel passing him in the process. And Verch down to P7. They're all getting a bit desperate now as we head into the what really is the last.
Basco, I don't think Basco's gonna wait for this.
He hasn't got enough.
He's still gonna wait.
He's on 7% ERS. He's got nothing left in that McLaren.
Oh, maybe now he's gonna be side by side for a minute. No, he's still not fast enough. Maybe now Keyboard made a mistake. And through goes Basco up for
not
P2.
quite.
Can he survive? Can he hold on to it?
Oh no!
Yes, he will. John Wick. No. Keyboard Magnussen. Down all the way
that's
through
that's
the
not
P8.
deserved. Oh, and Magnussen onto the grass. That's not deserved. I mean, he was probably going to pit at the end of the lap anyway with the way he was sliding around, but I get the feeling John Wick will take a penalty for that. That was avoidable contact. That was the Ferrari getting impatient. I think he'll take a penalty for that because it's cost Magnussen dearly. But Basco is now...
Seconds.
I tell you what though,
Jesus.
Basco is clear, but also, look at him sliding around everywhere. He's burnt up his tyres following in the dirty air of that Sauber. So the battle is not over yet for second place. Anyone who's on fresher tyres can now have an advantage. John Wick is missing part of his front wing. I think he lost it when he collided with Keyboard Magnussen. Leftist, who was a reserve, is sniffing on the fringes of a podium right now. Joel has come up through the ranks. Verch, who lost it all at the start, is now suddenly sensing a trophy again. Vinsik has made a good fight back. He's on in P7. Ocean Chief has fought his way up through the field as well. And Keyboard Magnussen is still not pitted yet.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have to at this point.
Yeah, look at him.
We're going to have a straight with the DRS. Is John Wick going to make a use of it? Yes, of course, John Wick goes up into P2. It's not a Sauber ahead of him anymore. He can finally make a pass onto the main straight as he does make a move up into P2. Ahead of Basco, who's down to P3.
Basco.
And Joel's still defending off these two guys behind him.
Basco is going to go nuts. He finally gets clear track in front of him for all of like 3/4 of a lap. And now there's a Ferrari ahead of him. He is just... Oh...
Yeah,
but,
good news for Basco is that it's not Sauber anymore, so when they come to the next DRS zone onto the main straight, he will most likely have a good shot at the Ferrari. That is, if he can keep up with him for the corners, he should be. As you mentioned, Ferrari has some kind of front wing damage, so this shouldn't be too tough for Basco to get close enough to him for make a move, as they will get close to the main straight as Basco is following Ferrari through. Finzik makes a move up into P5, sorry. No, he does not, as Joel wins the position back, but Joel is under a lot of pressure. He was under pressure from Verge. He's now under pressure from Finzik. Finzik is making a great comeback drive all the way down to from the bottom, as he was starting last because of not making the time in the qualifying session, and now he's all the way up into P6, and his race is not quite done yet.
If you had told me at the start of this race that the reason McLaren didn't win was because of a green Sauber, I wouldn't have believed you. But it's literally cost them the win. It's cost Smelto basically any chance of points unless he's able to haul ass and catch up to the likes of Halaman. And it has cost John Wick and Basco and all the chance to take the win because the gap is 12.6 on dead tyres. Snaxlala will have been managing his pace, managing his tyres, but meanwhile the battle is now for second, and this is not going to stop getting crazy anytime soon. These two are riled up now. You can tell from the way they've been driving. They have had enough. They just want everyone else out of their way, and woe betide thee if you get in their way and they can't find the brake pedal in time. We could still see some explosive action in these closing stages.
Yeah, absolutely. And we did have a moment for Joel as he picked up a 3-second time penalty. We're battling for some strong points, so it's going to be very much against him at the finish line, so it's a hard time for Kick Sauber, not only Keyboard Magnussen being all the way down, as he finally made a stop and is now on fresh, hard rubber. That's going to be very tough for him and somehow anyway come back into this race.
I'll tell you what, driver of the day is going to be hard because
yeah,
I mean, the comeback from Finzik, Verch has done a good job.
Jesus.
Keyboard Magnussen has been great on the defense. Lefter in his first race is fighting for a podium. He's done really well. You know, there's so many drivers that could be driver of the day.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of the hardest driver of the day picks ever. So that's gonna be tough. Let's hope somebody will stand out even more than they have already done.
Lefter
heroes.
The double slipstream isn't enough to help him. He is all over the back of these two, though. Clearly, he has fresher rubber, and I think if he's just patient and lets those tires fall off, as Verch is ghosted, he must have gone across the chicane. I think if Lefter is patient, he could see at least a P3, if not a P2.
Oh, Joel, he had the pace to overtake Lefter, but he picked the wrong line as he was trying to go to the outside. He failed to find enough space to overtake the Alpine, but he was quick enough. If he would have picked a different racing line, he could have overtaken Lefter, so he has to be careful on the Joel that's behind him. While John Wick didn't pass Basco for P2 on the main straight. That is a good news for the McLaren. Seemingly, he can hold him off, at least for now. Let's see if he can hold him off all the way through to the finish line.
First bit of good news the McLarens have had all race, to be quite honest, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's been, I mean, who would have thought after locking out the front row that they'd be 13 seconds off the lead with a driver only now in P10. If you told me that at the start of the race, I would have thought, you're off your rocker, can I have whatever you've been smoking? But here we are, with a great battle for the podium between, I mean, how far back does this go? If you include all the cars in this train, P2 to P9 are all within DRS range of each other. You know, and we're on lap 22. Eat your heart out, real life F1. This is where it's at. Look at this. This is close. Although they are starting to pull apart a little bit as the plug hole that was Keyboard Magnussen has been removed, and they're now finding a bit more space to maneuver. But there's still battle going on here as Joel has a think about going on Lefter. He does go to the inside. Lefter goes deep, but keeps it within the track. Not on that occasion, he doesn't though, and that compromises the line. Joel showing his experience there, or rather Lefter showing some inexperience, as Finzik, oh no, the two new boys battling away with each other. This is going to go well.
Finzik down the inside,
surely not
3
both
cars
of them.
Wide. Oh, that
he
was
gets
so
one of them.
good.
He got one of them.
Yeah, he did pass Lefter, but now he's going to have to pass Joel with the 3-second time penalty. So Finzik is making an absolutely goated comeback all the way from the back. Remember, he was starting from the back and then he got caught up and he was all the way in the back again, like midway through the race, like lap 10 or something.
And he's been doing this all with a damaged front wing.
Yeah, exactly. He's making a double comeback. He's coming back from all the way twice, and he could be still looking at the possible podium if he passes Joel fast enough. That's Smelto. Oh, and someone's in the wall. That was Verch, who bounces off the wall. So the Red Bull is also struggling heavily. I don't think he really bounced, doesn't have much damage, but he definitely spun, and he was close to a wall. So Red Bull is in deep trouble again. A lot of action going on here in Suzuka.
I told you, Verch just can't catch a break this season. He qualified third. He's now down in P9. He'll take points, but he was in that battle with all that train, and it just seems he's now 7 seconds down. So then there were 8. It's like that. It's like the new elimination mode a bit here, isn't it? Who's going to fall next? We've got 8 cars still in the hunt for the podium. Eversnaxolotl, we haven't really seen much of him, but he's 13 seconds up the road and just kind of basically having a Sunday drive, which is not what the same that can be said for Basco and John Wick, and basically everyone else in this queue. Though they are spaced out a bit more now, as I said, so John Wick not letting this one go easily, I have to say. And he does have a look to the inside, gets the slipstream, gets the ERS, and he's through. That was a very clean move. Now, can he break away? He'll not do it in Sector 1 with half a front wing. Now, I wonder, though, will he try and break away, or will he try and back this pack up again and try and get Basco to fall prey to, if not Joel, his teammate? Could we potentially see 2 Ferraris on the podium? Because, of course, Joel will have a time penalty. If Basco makes another mistake, we could have a double Ferrari podium.
Yeah, it could be. And who would have guessed it
Sector
before
1.
race started?
Oh,
Yellow flag
poor
for
Keyboard Magnussen. He doesn't
Unfortunately for
deserve this.
him.
Leave him alone, Racing God. More yellows.
Hallinan retires in the pit lane. Oh, and a mistake from Joel. This could be a chance for Finzik, who's trying to slip it down the left side, but just not fast enough on the way out. But that maneuver of Joel left a lot of space for the Ferrari. Couldn't quite use it, but there is definitely some space and room for errors from Kick Sauber as Finzik is closing in on Joel, looking for a possible overtake. As of right now, he has a shot, but once John Wick and Basco conflict will be settled and they won't have DRS and exchanging positions every now and then, his chances for podium will be gone, so he has to pass Joel ASAP. He knows there's not much time left.
Sorry, an important milestone there. Because we passed lap 25, we've completed 90% race distance. No more chance of a safety car. Even if there's a mother of all wrecks and every one of these cars wrecks, there's no safety car anymore. So if you're going to make a move that could potentially cause some harm in the last desperate lunge, now's the time to do it. As Basco probably heard me there, he had a little snifter underneath the rear wing of John Wick, who is held on for this lap as Basco's tyres reach the cliff.
Yeah, Finzik was trying to close it in on Joel again as he saw the opportunity of Joel going too wide again, but he wasn't quick enough one more time, so he's gonna have to wait a bit longer for another possibility. Joel seems to be a bit quicker on the straights, but in the corners, Finzik is definitely catching that kick. Sauber, as the green car, is surely quick on the straights today. We have seen this quite obviously with Keyboard Magnussen. Eversnax is on the way to the victory. We didn't mention him too much, but there's nothing to mention. He's just dominating after gaining a lot of advantage due to Keyboard Magnussen's defensive drive. He's all on the way to the victory with 13 seconds worth of gap.
I'll not discredit Magnussen on that one. It wasn't so much Magnussen's defensive driving, it was actually more Smelto's over-aggressive move that allowed Snaxalol through to take advantage. Magnussen really didn't do anything wrong. It was more Smelto being impatient. But he'll live and learn, albeit he'll learn from 13th place on the grid. As John Wick now, once again, this McLaren just has no straight line speed. He's closing up on John Wick a bit now, but that's because John Wick went down to medium. And who will get the run here? The Ferrari seems to have good late straight line speed as well. I bet you Basco's wishing he had that real-life McLaren rear wing right now.
Yep.
As John Wick breaks the toe, he's made his one move, and it's been enough, actually. 2 to go, and John Wick holding on to second. Joel closing in behind, and Finzik, gosh, he must be able to smell that podium from here. What a debut that would be. What a comeback it would be to get Ferrari on the podium. As Joel goes wide, just manages to keep it within the track limits.
Yeah, I'm looking at the battery situation, and John Wick having a 50% of battery, Basco with the 60, Joel with only 30 now, and Finzik with 40. So that is a great chance for Basco for an overtake once he finally closes the gap, because he does have a battery to do so against John Wick, but he needs a situation where he can actually use this battery. So far, he just didn't quite get one in the last couple of laps, as he's now closing in on John Wick again, using a slipstream. This could be a good one. Finzik on the back of Joel as well. What a battle in 2 different places we've got going on.
He tried to brave it out to the inside of Spoon, but there was a bump just on the entry to Spoon there, and the Ferrari driver had to back out of it. He's all over the back of this Sauber. The Saubers have been, well, basically Donald Trump's wall at this point, but surely this is it, because look, he's charging.
Oh, he bumped him again, but can he make him move as he goes to the left side?
Under braking a little bit.
Finzik on the
late
left.
On the brakes. Finzik goes late on the brakes, and he makes it stick.
Wow.
He's got one lap to overhaul Basco, or to hope that these two make a mistake, although we'd like a Ferrari double podium. Basco makes the move on John Wick on the final straight, and does get through. John Wick, can he overtake Basco? Further back, Larson has gotten past Ocean Chief. They're all sensing it's now or never.
Everyone is taking some risks in order to try to gain as much as humanly possible, as Basco will now have to survive and hold off John Wick. We have some yellows. That was caused by Piggy in the back.
On 22 lap old mediums.
Yep. Eversnax is right about finishing this Grand Prix. He's about to complete 27 laps and win the Suzuka Grand Prix, but this race has been all about the action for the podium and the midfield, as Basco is still holding on to this P2. John Wick is not really closing in too much. Gap is 0.8 as of right now. He will have a slipstream here. Yellow flag in the midfield. What caused that? It's John Wick! He's out of fuel! He's out of fuel! He's done! John Wick's
Finzik is
podium
on the podium on
gone.
his debut, but Lefter
Finzik
could
on the
take it on his
podium.
debut as well because he's chasing down the Ferrari. Who's going to take the podium on debut?
It's not over yet. Lefter is coming again. He wants to pass Finzik. It's now or never. Will he make the move?
The inside
Goes
of
to the left
130R.
side. And will he pass him? Bumping wheels.
Finzik
Ferrari
braces like
to
he
the right.
has the inside for Casio Triangle.
Ah,
Oh, a bit
Finzik
of a
pushing him
bump.
away. And he will survive. Lefter is elite. Finzik has done it. Snacks wins the race. Basco is second.
Finzik on
from
the
being
podium.
twice
What a
in the
comeback.
back to the podium. What
And
a
Lefter
race
making
that
a
was.
brilliant fight back as well. What a drive
Jesus.
from those two. Worthy of joining SLR.
What a
Bravo,
finish. Virtus is gonna
gentlemen.
go for points. John Wick is still P9, but will he deliver the finish line in the points? Yes, he will. Crossing the finish line
And
at
to tell you
P9.
what,
Horizon P10.
I tell you what, Basco had a few, or was it Smelto I'm thinking? There were a few cheeky moments. I wouldn't be surprised to see a
Look
few
at
Stewart
this.
investigations. But I tell
Keyboard.
you what,
Keyboard's gotten to the points. Yes,
Well done,
just
him.
in the final straight.
tell you
1
what,
point for Sauber.
with all that action, do you know what? Out of all of them, Finzik, despite the bit of damage, was unironically clean. I wouldn't say he's out of contention for second yet. There could be a few
Maybe.
stewards inquiries for the McLarens.
Maybe.
But even still,
Could be.
third place on debut is not a bad
Yeah.
showing from Ferrari.
And he
Having-
was making
you-
this
you-
comeback twice. Incredible.
You remember, of course, it was only a few races ago that Ferrari got their first points, and now they're sitting on the podium.
Yeah. Absolutely.
What a turnaround for this season for Ferrari. What a drive.
Yeah,
Okay,
we were
driver
having
of the
this-
day.
I mean, Finzik.
Do you know what? After that last lap, I mean, I'm torn between Finzik and... Can we call a tie between them? I'm torn between
don't think we
Finzik and
can.
Magnussen, to be honest.
I
mean-
know, and Keyboard has done a great job, but at the end of the day, results are also important for driver of the day, and Finzik went last to podium while Keyboard went for the top to bottom. He had a great race for anybody who wasn't
Albeit-
watching.
I was going
it.
to say,
They
albeit
will
through
look at
no
the
fault
board
of
and be
his
like,
own, though,
hey,
wasn't
Keyboard
it?
P10, doesn't matter. But if you watch the race, you know how great of a drive that was from Keyboard. But at the end of the day, results also matter. So in my opinion, that is Finzik from P16 all the way to the middle field, then again down to P16, and then for podium. What a drive from the Ferrari driver.
You've convinced me. Do you know what? Yeah. Yeah, I would say Finzik driver of the day. And there are your final positions. Snaxlall with probably the easiest race of his life. He won't get many more like that. Takes 25 points. Basco gets a hard-fought second place, though that's by no means certain at the minute. And as you said, Finzik from 16th to 3rd. What a drive from him. Lefter did well, 7th to 4th, and even Larson from 9th to 5th, albeit availing of luck. Ocean Chief made a smaller comeback, 11th to 6th. Joel only down 1 spot. Verch, what is it going to take for this man to get a result? 3rd down to 8th. John Wick, unlucky on the last lap. Keyboard Magnussen, desperately unlucky after a brilliant defensive drive. Horizon, made a few mistakes on debut, but hopefully he'll iron those out. Piggy, I don't know what he was doing. He had no idea of a strategy day. Smelto, I'm surprised he had such a moment in the middle of the race. He's normally above mistakes like that, but clearly he wasn't above letting his emotions get to him in that car.
Absolutely. As we are rounding up the Grand Prix, we have our first guests of an interview booth. We have a race winner Eversnacks. We have Joel from Kick Sauber waiting already. So which one would you like to interview first?
Well, let's get Eversnacks out of the way. He hasn't got a whole lot to say.
Okay.
Snacks, are you awake there?
I was about to fall asleep at the wheel, but you know. Oh.
Hey, enjoy it. You're not going to get many
Holy.
races like that in your career. Congratulations.
Hey, I'm gonna take that as an attack towards me.
Congratulations on the win. There wasn't really obviously very much happening with your race, so I suppose the main thing to ask is what happened in the incident that actually let you get into the lead? Because we were genuinely confused how you made it through. It was like watching Lightning McQueen in the opening of Cars, you know, he gets through the entire wreck. How did you make it through there?
It was quite literally like that. I wasn't expecting it, but I was keeping close to Smelto and Keyboard Mag in front because I knew that there would be something happening eventually, like either an overtake or some contact. And then at the end of the S's, you know, the last corner out of the S's, they made some contact. I'm not exactly sure what happened. I'm sure the FAA will be having a look at it. But yes, I just went around the outside. I saw my chance. I was like, okay, I have to take that P1. Yeah. Whew. That was exciting.
It was indeed. There's a lot of stuff. Oh, we've got a bit of the equivalent of a pit lane skirmish going on in chat. Smelto complaining that Keyboard ruined the battle there, and Keyboard replying with "Cry me a river, lad." I mean,
Yeah.
from what you saw, Snacks, did Keyboard do anything wrong, or was from what we saw, it felt like Smelto was just being too aggressive? What was it? What was
I
your
can't.
perspective?
I can't really judge it. I would say that Keyboard Magnussen was defending quite hard. I would also say that Smelter was attacking quite hard. Um, Perhaps it's just a racing incident. I mean, both of them were trying to fight for the race victory, and sometimes if two people are fighting for high positions, then stuff like that happens. I mean, I've had my own share in the last few races, especially last season. I had some races where I was just fighting somebody and nobody was gonna back out. Especially in Japan, last season Japan, I had a crash with someone because we were just both gonna keep that position, whatever is gonna happen. And yeah, it was deemed a racing incident at the end there as well.
That's
So
how. That's
yeah.
how you know that it was a really controversial incident, because all I can see in the chat is several people are typing. That's like the Discord equivalent of everyone shouting at each other.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just gladly sit back in the cooldown room. I'll just have a look at everything unfolding from far away. But yeah, I'm just very happy with that race. I had such consistent pace. Finally, I could show how quick I actually am. I'm just really glad about that. I would have liked a battle with the two McLarens. It was very exciting at the start because they were just helping each other out. I think I was quicker than Basco at the race start, but he was just keeping in the DRS of Smelto. So yeah, very exciting start to the race, but I'll be honest, I'll take a boring end to the race as well. I'm not going to complain
yeah,
about that.
you'll take 25 points any day, as would any driver. But well done on the win, congratulations. And yeah, enjoy that one peaceful race, because I get the feeling you'll be in the war zone again next week. So
Thank you. Yeah, I'll be hoping the best.
absolutely.
Perhaps
See you around, my friend.
Yeah. All right. Bye.
All right, and we also
only got,
have Brother Joel.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly am not surprised we've only got Brother Joel left in there. I think everyone has just walked away, or at least they're not coming in on the mic to say anything that they maybe
Most
are going to
likely,
regret
yeah.
later on. But we'll bring
Alright.
Brother Joel in, who was desperately unlucky. Of course, had the 3-second penalty at the end of the race and ended up dropping down the order. Let's bring him in. Brother Joel.
Hello.
Hello. Commiserations. I mean, battling so close the whole race and then a 3-second penalty. I suppose the main thing I want to know is, any way to appeal that, or was it just purely track limits
Nope.
and there's no way around it?
Nope. I just cut the corner 3 times. The same corner, actually. The last
Fair.
one. So it's fun.
Fair enough.
But yeah.
But
I
aside
also
from
had,
that, your perspective on the race as a whole, and in particular, if you were nearby, I don't know if you were or not at that point, but the whole, well, controversy, I suppose, is at this point between the Sauber of Keyboard and the two McLarens.
I don't really know what happened there. I wasn't close enough to see it, but I saw Smelto had damage and pit. That's all I could see of it. So I'll
And in
reserve
regards to your
judgment
race
for the rest
then,
of it.
because we noticed you having a conversation with Keyboard Magnussen, we saw him letting you through on the straight, and well, he's saying in hindsight, albeit with the trophies, that he shouldn't have bothered. But was that a coordinated effort by you, or was that just him moving over and saying, "Let's hope for the best"?
Well, I was gonna try and overtake him nonetheless because he was really quite slowing me up. So there are sort of moments like that where I just think I just have to get past and take a bit more risk because it's a slower car. And knowing Keyboard too, if he thinks I'm faster, he will make it easier. So that's nice. But I had wing damage so it's like 2 laps after the safety car restart to the end of the race. I had yellow wing damage, so I can't really complain with P7 after that, I don't think. And it would have been P8 if it weren't for John Wick. So thanks, John.
I was going to say, do you want to actually explain what happened at the end there with John Wick? Like, what was all that
No,
about?
I don't know. I wasn't involved again. I just saw his Ferrari going slow.
Right,
yes.
fair enough then.
the most fun I've had in a race in a very long time,
Tell
and
you what,
definitely the best race I've driven this season, if not this year.
I was going to say most exciting race we've watched, but we've actually had bangers all the way through the season here in Tier 2. Of course, I wasn't here for the past 2 races, so maybe they were snooze fests, I don't know. But it's you've shown me why it's good to be back commentating for this tier anyway, because that was an absolutely enthralling race to watch.
Like esports, nose to tail the whole way.
Nah, esports is boring by comparison. They're too safe with each other. You guys, on the other hand, you're more like Formula 2. It's great.
Well, yeah, I was behind Chief, going into the hairpin, and I was in VC with him, so I said, Chief, I'm going up the inside this lap, because I was behind him for like 4 laps.
I feel like that would actually help the F2 drivers. Maybe they need to have radio communications with each other.
Yeah, I'm making this move, and you better be ready.
Guys, Ragunathan's off his nut. You just hear down the mic, I'm absolutely battering them. Oh, there's a reference if anyone knows that one. Good old ex-Matty G. We miss him doing his races. But anyway, yeah, that's all that we've got at the minute. There's no one else in the interview room. And Eversnack's proudly showing off, just looking in the chat there, proudly showing off his race pace. Pretty goddamn consistent, I have to say. So well done to him for that, because he's very proudly showing that off. But yeah, we will find out next week the results of any stewards' investigations, and hopefully our security forces will be able to keep the Sauber and McLaren guys from killing each other before next week. But anyway, we will see you next week for... Where are we off to next? Qatar. Oh gosh, I thought this was going to get simpler. This is going to be chaos.
I can unscrew my brake pedal for next week, because I won't be needing that.
I'm not even going to need the anti-tank mines I brought, but anyway. Yes, we will see you for the demolition derby that is Qatar next week. But until then, I hope you've enjoyed watching the race. It's been brilliant fun to commentate over. I've been Lover Lars.
And I've been CM Punk.
And we've had Brother Joel with us. Amen. And we will see you next week for Qatar. But until then, have a very good week, and we will see you next time. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.